ねもしも全て投げ捨てられたら笑って生きることが楽になるのまた胸が痛くなるからもう何も言わないでよ
Hey Wyan, does my hair bother you? You looked up from your math assignment, pencil in hand. A confused look crossed your face as your head tilted to the side. Huh? What do you mean? It was a strange question. You knew it bothered him on several occasions, the way he looked, but he hardly brought it up with you in a conversation. Just then, two individuals crossed your mind that resided in the same class as you and your blue-haired boyfriend. You gripped your pencil. Did Nakamura and Karma say something to you again? You knew those two were troublemakers, though they weren't exactly mean. They always had some teased remark about the way Nagisa looked. No, they didn't say anything. He stood and waved his hands frantically before sighing and sitting down again. It's just, I know the way I look isn't ideal for a boy. I never had a problem with accepting it, since I knew nothing was going to change. But now that we're, well, together, it makes me self-conscious as to what people may say about you, and since when do I care about what people think? He stopped his rambling to look at you. Your face had a slightly annoyed twinge to it, yet you were still smiling, arms folded over your chest. He stuttered. You chuckled, swinging your legs over the chair you were sitting on to stand up. You made your way behind Nagisa, placing your hands on his shoulders to examine the back of his head. You moved your hands up, and with careful fingers, you removed the hair ties that pulled his hair into two pigtails that sat cutely on top of his head. Wyan, what are you doing? You said nothing as you removed the last tie, watching his hair fall past his shoulders in beautiful blue waves. You smiled with satisfaction, taking a strand between your fingers and feeling the softness over it. Once your fingers reached the end, they traced along the back of his shoulders and up the side of his face to land on his cheek. Your body moved in front of his, bent down, face directly in front of his. His cheeks were dusted pink as he stared at you. Your lips formed into a sweet smile. I'll ask you again, you whispered. Since when do I care about what people think? Nagisa swallowed, eyes focused on yours. After doing something like this, I'm guessing you don't? You let out a giggle that flowed through his ears like sweet honey. Every time he heard it, he could never help but smile to himself. Contagious. That's what your laugh was like. Your eye-colored eyes always sparkled, cheeks always framed with pink, and a smile always beautiful. He was lost until his face began gently being pulled by your soft hands. You ran a finger under his eye, smiling before you connected your lips together in a soft kiss. One of his hands was on your upper waist, the other framing your jaw and cheek, whilst yours resided on his shoulder and the back of his head, keeping him in place. You could feel him smile through the kiss, humming in content, while his hair, that you absolutely adored, tickled your cheek. You could smell his sweet, oceany scent and feel his soft, smooth hands caress your face. Perfect. Oxygen was necessary, however, and as much as you both didn't want to, you pulled away from each other slowly. Your eyes were half-lidded, cheeks were rosy, and smiles were small. You pressed your foreheads against each other, fingers twirling in his hair, once more as you answered his question, not in the slightest. Okay, so I'm sorry that was a relatively short one. It was about 4 minutes, but it was a really cute, fluffy story, and honestly, coming from a writer and a reader who always loves to criticize people and loves to get criticism about my own work, this was written extremely well. Like I've never read anything other than my own, not to like put myself out there, but not to boost myself, but I've never read anything more put together than what I just read, and that is on being a writer and reader. Like, this is well put together. So please, and it only has 8 stars. I noticed that most of the Wattpad that have good writing have way less stars than the stories that have bad writing. I don't know why. Like, their writing is so good. It's like perfected. Okay, but yeah, can you go give them a star? I'll leave the link in the description below, and I'll see you guys next week on Sunday. Goodbye, loves.